What's up, guys? I know it's been a while since I've been on this channel or even posted a video, but I've been thinking a little and I'm just like, what, it's time to post a video about, what I've been talking about on my last video. And if you're not a believer or a follower of Christ or, believe in the Bible, you could just get off the video, or you can stay and, see my opinions of what I believe, because I believe that everyone has the right to choose whether they believe in God or not. And, let's get to the video and see what you guys think about this. Today we're going to talk about, I guess, a difficult topic. We're going to talk about sin. And when you think about sin, you think about like murder, and you think about the big sins like watching pornography or, doing something you're not supposed to, stealing. But in the Bible it says, and don't quote me on this because I'm not an expert, but I believe that the Bible says that no matter what sin you do, it all is the same. Let's picture, how you put this, look. Let's picture this water bottle, and then picture this one. Of course, this one's more filled. Picture this one's murder, and this one is stealing. If somebody asked you which one is a bigger sin, murder or stealing, and people would say it's murder, of course, because here, logically you would go to jail for murder. For stealing, maybe they'd charge you for like something, or maybe just get slapped on the hand. But in the Bible that says that stealing and murdering is exactly the same thing. Might be different, but they're the same thing. Like for the sense of water, no matter how full it is, they're used for the same purpose, and in the end, they're gonna end up the same, all the way to the bottom, empty. Okay, so let's look at a couple verses about sin. Now let's read about Matthew 18:21, and in this verse, Peter comes up to God and says, "Lord, how many times will my brother sin against you? How many times do I have to tell them not to sin against you?" And then Peter does this. Matthew 18:21. Peter came up to God and said, "Lord, how often will my brother sin against me and I forgive him? As many times as 7 times? Then Jesus said, "I do not say to you 7 times, but 77 times." And see, what God is basically saying there is that no matter how many times you sin, how many times you steal, how many times you murder, He will forgive you. He will love you. And yeah, it might sound, whoa, you can murder 77 people and still be accepted into heaven. But the fact is, if you honestly believe in Him and want Him in your life, you will fit Him in your life, and you will be accepted into the kingdom of God, because you have to believe in Him. And actually, you can't just sin, and then you can't sin on a Saturday and then on Sunday go to church and be like, "Oh, I'm forgiven." No, He knows who actually believes in Him, who actually is worthy to be in heaven. Okay? So let's look at another verse in Matthew. And in this verse, let's just read it. It's kind of hard to explain. It says, Matthew 5:23. "So if you are offering your gift at the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you." Basically, don't look at the problems. Look at them as potential opportunity of getting closer to God. So basically, if you have a sin, like let's say drinking, or looking at a girl in a badly manner, it's a sin. You want to stop it and everything, but basically, don't look at it a bad way. Look at it at a good way. You have to mark your territory. You have to say, "I'm not gonna sin anymore. I'm not gonna, do something that God will not want me to do." And I'm telling you, it's not. How do you put it? It's not possible to never sin. If it was possible, it'd be too easy. But try to sin as least as you can. If you know it's a sin, that doesn't mean you can go out and do it and then, expect God to forgive you and, say, "Oh, I believe in Him, He's going to forgive me." No. You're going to sin, but you have to realize that if you know it's a sin, don't do it. Plainly out, don't do it. You have to know your boundaries, and as a Christian, you have to know what you can and can't do. If you know it's a sin, don't do it. If you're kind of maybe in the middle, do more research about it, maybe. If it's not, go ahead and do it. If it is, like I said, don't do it. But if you do it and then realize it's a sin after, you have to learn. Maybe that was just a lesson. You learned that that was a sin and that you're not supposed to do it anymore. Simple as that. Don't do it anymore. And this is the last thing that we're going to be about today. God will start it and finish it. So you guys hear that everything that starts has a finish. You know, I throw this up in the air, it started. And it finished. Our life starts and our life ends. You know, God started everything, so He will finish it. If you started sinning, He will end it. Every sin in this world will end one day. And that day is when He comes back. And you can believe everything that you hear that comes out of my mouth, or you don't. But I want you guys to read more about sin, about what it is, what's bad or wrong, and whether you believe it or not. I encourage you to pick up the Bible. It doesn't kill you, it doesn't hurt you to pick up the Bible and read, what is sin, what does God say about what is sin, what is not sin. You might end up liking it and actually believing in it, or maybe saying, oh wow, this actually makes sense. Oh, not sinning, do this, don't do this. Don't look at it as rules. Look at it as a guidance to have a happier and most amazing life. If you want a happy life and want you to be stress-free, pick up the Bible. It has every answer in life. If you had to read any book to guide you in life, I suggest the Bible, because it is basically God being there for you. Sure, people say that people wrote the Bible, but the fact is, it was written many, many years ago by hundreds of people. But it was written by people who were there when God was doing all this. It wasn't written by a guy, it's not like if I'm writing the Bible right now, hearing all these stories. No, people were actually there, witnessing firsthand what God was doing. And He was healing people, He was walking on water, He was doing all this that was literally impossible if you would try it now. So I encourage you guys to pick up the Bible, read it, maybe a chapter or two, comment down below, or leave it on my Instagram what you think. And whether, don't get offended by, this video, or, me saying that all atheists are trash, or, but take a look at it, and I bet you anything that God will change your life if you just give Him a chance in your life. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and like it. Later, guys.